first things first, I just want to give you a bit of information about foot odor. It's not just the sweat, basically. There's some microbiology that's going on. So here's what I want you to think of. When you sweat from other body parts, like even your armpits that are slightly closed, you can still move them and get some air, okay? But when you sweat from your feet, it's a pretty trapped environment. So you've got socks on, and then over them you've got shoes on, so it's really trapped. And this creates a perfect environment for bacteria and fungus to thrive. They basically feed on the bacteria and the dead skin cells, and they basically release something called isovaleric acid. This is what's responsible for that distinctive cheesy smell that a lot of people unfortunately get from the feet and from their shoes. Now let's learn with science what you can do to get rid of that stink and get rid of that sweat. Let's start with sweat control. Your feet have more sweat glands per square inch than anywhere else on your body, around 125,000 per foot to be precise. So the good news is, if we reduce the sweat, we also reduce the bacteria in that environment. So my number one recommendation is using a clinical strength antiperspirant which contains aluminium salts, such as aluminium chloride. This basically works by blocking the eccrine sweat gland, forming a temporary plug on the sweat glands. So if you apply the wipe, let's say on the feet, it basically reduces the sweating, the amount of sweat you can produce from your glands from the feet. Now, there's a common myth that aluminium-based antiperspirants are unsafe, but the evidence says otherwise. So please do not fall for the myth. Your skin is only able to absorb a tiny amount of aluminium. Also, major health bodies such as the American Cancer Association and the FDA have found no conclusive link between aluminium-containing antiperspirants and cancer. So let me tell you a bit more about our SweatBlock clinical wipes. They contain aluminium chloride, and this salt is basically the most potent form. So we have different types of salts as well, like aluminium sesquichlorohydrate, but aluminium chloride is far more potent. And because of that, it can be really useful to use on areas that sweat a lot, like your armpits or like your feet, to basically control the sweating. Because the aluminium chloride is so potent, we only recommend using it once a week and at nighttime. Remember, nighttime application is preferable for aluminium chloride because we tend to sweat less then, so it's a drier environment and it has more time to do that plugging of the sweat glands. SweatBlock, sweat less, live more.